I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Hometime. You can see and you can purchase this 40mm automatic winding dual time timepiece on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional high resolution images, accessories included with the sale, and of course complete pricing information for this watch. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this watch is very much of the cool, technical aesthetic that bowed at Jaeger-LeCoultre in the Master series during the early to mid 2000s. Now the early 2000s at JLC were an exciting time. There was a youthful new CEO in Jerome. Richemont had just acquired the company and fully capitalized all of its R&D projects. Magali Metroyer was designing new watches that pushed the limits of the company's previous tolerance for the avant-garde, and there was a new caliber family in the 975 Auto Tractor employed right here. This watch, featuring a classic 975 dual time application, is also a versatile sporting reference, 40mm across the round of the case, not including the crown. The timepiece is nice and slim, 11mm thick, but you can see due to the slope of that conical bezel, it does wear thinner than that. It nestles into the wrist, hunkers down, and easily clears any kind of a dress cuff. Now, from lug to lug, the watch might be a little bit bigger than you anticipated. So a 40mm case across the round, but 48mm from lug to lug. That's not the entire story, as this bracelet, which is a fantastic piece, actually features a little bit of a solid end link flare, such that the solid end links extend a little bit more laterally than the lugs themselves, and they increase the span across the wrist to a rigid 54mm. So if you want a big watch but you love the complications and aesthetic of this watch, give it a second look, because it wears larger than it appears at first glance, and certainly larger than the 40mm nominal measurement would suggest. It also has a lot of heft to it. This is a very substantial bracelet. It's of the same style that debuted on the Reverso Grand Sport family in 1998. You can see the beautiful faceting, contrasting finish of the bracelet. You can see the smaller intermediate links between the shoulder links. You can see how handsome the polished portions are in relation to the satin finish, and how that really does differentiate the watch. You can see how there is a breakup of the mass of the steel thanks to those contrasting finishes. No need for two-tone, no need for gimmicks, no need for rubber cladding. It's just done with beautiful hand finish on stainless steel. Incredibly handsome and incredibly substantial, and it's matched with JLC's double deployant quadruple trigger clasp. Now here's how this works. Everything is all closed up, all of a piece, and now you need positive release on all 4 triggers to deploy the clasp. Beautifully finished inside and out. There's no raw machined surface to mar the appearance, but moreover, there's a little bit of additional engineering wizardry built into each side of the clasp. Just like Rolex's Easy Link, there's approximately a 5mm in and out adjustment that is actuated simply by folding this link over itself or taking it out, and it's mirrored on the opposite side. So you do have micrometric adjustment in 2 steps on each side for periods of activity when you might be exerting yourself and the wrist expands, or cold weather when the wrist might contract and you want to size it up to fit more securely. So an impressive bracelet on an impressive timepiece. You can see that the case is quite simple. There's really nothing to adorn it. There's no superfluous flourish. It's just beautifully finished polished steel framing a cool dial. Now at first glance the dial might appear a little too cool. Silver on silver on silver is an awful lot of grayscale, but when you look closer the subtlety begins to emerge. The faceted alpha hands at center are lighter and more elegant than the typical Dauphine. You can see that the dart style indices for the hours are beautifully faceted, and outboard there is a plot of lume for each hour. When combined with the sliver of luminova on the hour and minute hands at center, it makes the watch a little bit of a sports watch, readable in low or no light conditions. The dial itself may look like a matte finish, but it's actually a very subtle sunburst, a radial grain shooting out from the center, and there's a little splash of color on the reference hour hand as well as the sub-seconds hand, with a sunken sub-seconds featuring crosshair aesthetic to punctuate the dial, almost like an exclamation mark. Now you can see the watch does have tri-Arabics, again a little bit of a stylistic flourish to set apart these portions of the dial. So while there is a very clean aesthetic and a cool one with the abundance of grayscale, it's by no means sterile. Moreover, the watch features that glorious caliber 975 auto tractor on the caseback. 29 jewels. This was JLC's first modern take at a in-house sports watch caliber, utilizing the lessons learned from IWC's application of JLC 889 calibers in its sports watches, IWC being a longtime sister company within various holding firms and ultimately Richemont. JLC learned from IWC and incorporated the lessons learned into the 975 Auto Tractor. You'll note a free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge, Rolex style, for durability, resistance to shock-induced timing variation. And also, there is a hairspring of JLC's own design, which you can't see to effect from this angle, but it's built by Lange in Germany for JLC, and it's laser welded at the stud and the collet for still more stability. When fully wound, it'll run for 48 hours, and its automatic winding system was a step forward from the bidirectional system of the 889s, unidirectional, thus more efficient. It also features ceramic rotor bearings, completely unlubricated, for long-wearing durability and high efficiency. Still beautifully finished and executed, this is JLC doing a fine high horology movement that can also take its knocks. In terms of functional actuation, it couldn't be simpler. An intermediate crown position allows you to advance the local hour hand, and you'll see that it also drives the date. There's an AM/PM indicator that's linked to the reference hour hand, the skeletonized blue alpha hand. When you pull to the outermost position, you do hack the balance, stopping the seconds for synchronization, but you also allow all of the hands to move in sync. You can see this handsome and versatile Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Hometime and purchase it on our website.